an employee feel if your paycheck was based on the performance of someone other than yourself? This is a question the teachers in our community may soon be faced with. Due to the recent changes in education reform, this is causing an overall negative impact on the education system in our community. My goal is to persuade you that the new Common Core state standards are causing more harm than they are help. Things I'm going to be discussing are student performance and their impact on teachers' pay, teaching to the test, and why Common Core is an unfair rating standard. Now I'll start with teacher pay. How would you feel if your pay was based on someone else's performance, whether it was good or bad? This is what teachers will soon have to deal with, and it's not fair. According to research done by the Tennessean.com, these standards were written in private and never tested in real classrooms. And the evaluators aren't familiar enough with the standards to even use them. The standards are also come with a multi-billion-dollar price tag. In fact, to even qualify for the more than $4 billion in aid, states had to put into place standards to prepare students for life after high school and to test student performance. This is also going to cause an increase in a problem we already have in schools, which is adverse selection. The adverse selection between administrators and teachers is caused by simple personality differences. Administrators would be able to use the new standards to their advantage to punish teachers that they do not like. Students will also use this to their advantage by making bad grades on their tests to sabotage their scores just to hurt their teachers' pay. Some kids wouldn't do this on purpose, and they will make bad grades on the test simply because the new teaching to the test standard does not allow them to have a well-rounded education. Teachers are forced to abandon what they've spent their entire career perfecting and adopt new methods for teaching standardized tests. Teachers must now only approach students by teaching to the test. FoxNews.com was told by some teachers that the new education approach is turning their lessons into data dispensing sessions, and they fear that their jobs are being marginalized. Teachers must jump through many hoops and fill out many papers just to teach one simple lesson. They have been told to stick to strict scripts and only teach exact things that are going to be on the test. They have no time to teach basic skills due to such fast-paced learning. Parents say this is causing too much pressure on students to make them feel like they must absorb like a sponge. These new standards are turning kids into robots and is causing kids to be left behind in the process. These kids, however, will not pass these standardized tests in the end due to the simple fact that they cannot do the critical thinking that is required of these tests. States must realize that these are not feasible for local school systems. States are upset that these new standards are not producing the outcome that they predicted. This is simply due to too much busy work and teachers not having time to actually teach. According to Fox News reports and interviews with real teachers, they said, "I was given a curriculum and told by my administration to teach it word for word. In a meeting with my administration, I was reprimanded with, 'Don't forget, standards drive our instruction.'" Another failure in this system is the economic disadvantage. These tests don't take into account the fact that some kids are at a greater economic disadvantage than others. The kid on the left is from the Upper Cumberland region where there's higher poverty and lower test scores, compared to the kid on the right from a wealthier Williamson County area. Imagine the child on the left had no sleep last night and no dinner, had to get up early to catch a bus ride, but they spent an hour on the bus to get to school. They had no breakfast, then were sent to a classroom to take a standardized test, where all they were worried about is what they were having for lunch. That child's test scores are compared to the one on the right, who had dinner last night with their parents, tucked into a warm bed, got up early the next morning, had a good breakfast, driven to school, and got to a classroom and took the same test, and now they compare these grades. But these tests do not compare the economic disadvantage of these children. Things like this are causing teachers to second guess their job choice and are causing a decline in teacher morale. These things are important to everyone in the state, including teachers, administrators, students, parents, and even lawmakers. I hope now that you're more informed about what the new Common Core state standards are and the negative impact that they have on our community and education system. Things I discussed, such as student performance influencing teacher pay, teaching to the test, and why Common Core is bad for children, are all major issues. The new Common Core is hurting teachers and students more than it was intended to, since it was put in place to help them. There's been a Facebook page created called Stop Common Core Putnam County that was created by concerned parents who want their children to be children. They ask that you contact your local school board members, state and government representatives, and state and government senate members, and Governor Bill Haslam with your concerns. The future of our children depends on what we all do now.